and the scene opens. Stefan wakes up as usual, at his usual time, about 8:30 in the evening. He feels very well rested, and as a result of his nightmare roll, he is doing okay tonight. The thoughts that he's had, the events, well, the events that he's witnessed and part of, have been taking up a lot of his thought, and Gideon and the bars, the wrought iron, these individual creatures, flowers. Artists. I do not understand. I have to think. He goes. He finds his phone, and I'll call Ashton. Maybe he will give me the night off tonight. He dials Ashton. The phone rings a couple times, and Ashton picks up. Yeah, Ashton, is this you? Yeah, Stefan. Look, I know it's only an hour and a half before my shift, but I was wondering if there's any ways that I could take off tonight. I have a lot of things on my mind. Not as clear-headed as usual. Yeah. No, tomorrow night I will be at work. Yeah, as usual. Thank you very much, Ashton. Thank you. Dave, you will be taking the shift? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, I will see you. I will see you tomorrow night. Have a good evening. But he hangs up his phone, places it onto the table next to his favorite chair, the nicest of the two, admittedly. Kind of runs his hand along the right arm of the chair, up the high back and the slight sides to the back of the chair. Nice sitting room chair. Runs his hand up along the top of it, just kind of grasp it. And then walks over to it's the smaller of his two workbenches, but by far the smallest one is the heavier. It's made of heavier metal, heavier wood. It's got larger drawers and a lot of things in it. This is also the table that has some of his bench-mounted tools, which are also admittedly made of heavy metals, steel. He puts his hand on the table, kind of taking a moment to think about it, puts his fingers underneath them on it. The table isn't bolted to the floor, but so he just tries to lift it. takes his other hand, placing his fingers on the bottom, thumb on the top, and tries to, without putting too much of his back into it, just kind of placing his hand on the table. If Gideon could do it, can I do it? If Gideon can do it, can I? He takes a couple moments, trying to think, thinking back so far about what his sire taught him years ago, many years ago, about power in his blood, power of his will. And he kind of takes a moment to think, takes a moment to concentrate a little bit, mechanically spending one will, and tries to will his blood to strengthen his muscles a bit. The roll is intelligence plus occult, so 2 successes, the 7, and his will. And after a few moments, he places his hand back on the table, fingers on the bottom, thumbs at the top. He tries to lift up the front. Maybe a couple millimeters. He feels it budge, but doesn't really get it lifted, as if to like slide something under one of the feet or something. That much it just barely. That kind of goes down. Maybe some other time. This moment, feeling a little odd rumbling, hunger within him, and the sound of his phone going off. He walks over to the table where he sat it, and opens it up. It's a text message. Opens the text. Huh. And closes the text message and pulls out a piece of paper, scrolls through his phone, and dials up Axel.
Axel picks up his phone. Yeah, hello.
Axel, I got the previous text last night, I believe.
Fucking networks again, huh?
I was very busy last night with work. Then I got the text. I don't keep it on me.
Yeah, well, probably for the best. Alright, you have some time tonight?
Uh, does this concern this Joker Street location?
I'm not comfortable talking about anything on the phone. I will... How about if I come pick you up?
I was thinking about leaving. I'm feeling a bit hungry at the moment.
Yeah, well...
I,
It's a learning opportunity then.
if we could find a safe location for that, I would be very appreciative.
That's not too much of a problem. Where do you want to meet up?
Um, well,
Well,
I
you can always
think
tell us, and I'll just pick you up at home.
I think maybe the Emerald Scorpion might be a good place to feed. It is usually simple.
All right, all right. Well, you know the woman person with accent, right?
Yeah. uh, Once I take care of that need, um, we will talk.
All right.
So I
Let's
will
make it
see
quick.
you. Do you know where Pickett's Diner is?
Pickett's Diner. Pickett's Diner.
Uh, Northern edge of the downtown area.
All right.
About half block from the edge of Chinatown.
Chinatown. All right. Sweet. Okay. We'll end up getting in touch then. I will see you there in. Give me 15. It's a little bit of a drive, but this time of night shouldn't be heavy traffic. Advantage to be the nightlife, right? No rush hour.
That is true. No rush hour is always a good time to enjoy.
All right. I'll see you soon, Stefan.
Yeah.
He hangs up.
Stefan takes his phone, folds it back up, and puts it on the table and gets dressed. He grabs a pair of slacks, socks, shoes, and a shirt, button down, undershirt to go, uh, for and an undershirt, and the usual gray hooded sweatshirt that he's become accustomed to, just because he never knows when he'll need it. And gets dressed. Once he's dressed, he grabs his wallet, puts that into a front pocket, grabs his phone, placing that into the other front pocket and his keys. Um, or no, placing his wallet in the breast pocket on his shirt, under his sweatshirt. Um, Placing his phone in one pocket, keys in the other of his pants, and grabbing the multi-tool that he usually carries with him. Doesn't know why, but never know when it might come in handy. And proceeds to head out the door, locking the deadbolt above the handle behind him. And just kind of adjusting his hooded sweatshirt, leaving the hood down, and walking to the front of the diner that's below.
Axel's been driving for some time now. Feels really weird to be behind the wheel of a car again, but it's appreciating this little tiny bit of freedom. It's understandable why Damien likes to end up driving around now. Maybe it's a little something to do with the freedom to go anywhere when you choose. Better than waiting for buses, cabs, or having to end up walking places. Takes him a while before he finds Pickett's diner. He actually needs to end up making a few turns just to end up making things work out. Probably ends up circling the block a few times before he ends up coming across it and sees Stefan out. Stefan, on the other hand, sees a black Impala. Very familiar piece of equipment that parks in front of him, and the door is unlocked. You end up seeing Axel behind the wheel, doing his best to actually fitting in it despite his size. He's even reclined the chair as far back as it'll go, and it's barely enough.
Give me a perception alertness roll. Let me see, because of where it's set. And you're pulling up, like, maybe, front of the car, in front of the... Like the front of the car lines up with, the front doors of the diner, maybe?
Yep.
Okay, we'll call that.
So, what do you think? Average
We'll
6?
call that, like, a 7, so 1 success.
No success.
No, you got an 8.
No, I got a 6.
No, there's an 8 next to it.
That's a 3.
Oh, that's a 3?
That's a 3.
Okay. You park the car to where the front of the vehicle is lined up with the front door of the diner, which is it's almost perfectly center, but it's slightly offset to like one side. You notice the edge of the building. Stefan is standing in front of the diner, which is still open at the moment. But you do manage to catch the hours on the some hours posted. What is it? Closes at like 10 at night. So it's like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., something like that. Pretty long hours that it's open. And Stefan sees you and hops in the Impala, hops in the car.
As you do so, you might end up catching this waft of cigarette smoke. Okay, so you're thinking of Emerald Scorpion then, Stefan? He puts the car into drive and starts going.
At least for the start of the night. To get rid of this hunger.
Am I going to have to worry about you?
No. I may get to points where it is a necessity, but I don't get to that point.
I'm just giving you the same courtesy you give me. I'm looking out for you. Want to smoke?
No. That last time caught me off guard. Maybe if things get stressful.
Yeah, well. It's the little things, like I told you, Stefan. This is my little thing. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah, I beat cancer.
That is true. For many people who are still alive, that is a time to celebrate.
Well. So, you know whose car this is, right?
If I recall, this is Damien's automobile.
Got it in one. Well.
Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I ended up calling you out.
No, if I'm correct, the text you sent last night, it had you sent the location and that's it, which is something
That's
Joker
correct.
Street. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you sent the address. All right. What happened at this Joker Street location?
Long
Where
story short.
is it? Hmm.
Uh, projects near the flats, and unfortunately, well, he starts turning in a little bit, heading towards the Emerald Scorpion. See, unfortunately, shit ended up going down, and to make things worse, well, you end up having this bit where they got Damien. When I say they, I mean Flowers.
Flowers, as in plural.
Yeah, as in two of the fuckers.
Which
Trevor and the
ones?
other big guy. Big guy, I haven't learned his name yet.
Very large man. Did he have a very stone-faced expression? Very.
Yeah, that's the motherfucker. Sorry, I think it's just being behind the wheel of Damien's car. I think I understand why he gets a little lippy on occasion. It's
He's
about
gonna.
driving, it just doesn't.
He's gonna take a moment to kind of think for a little bit. Did anyone tell him about Andrew? Yes, they did describe Andrew as also very big. Bigger than Johann. Okay. Um, was it, so he stone-faced expression, very, very hard, like carved, very muscular?
I don't know about muscular. He's kind of a big guy in a suit, but you know,
And
big enough to
his,
end up causing me concern, and big enough to end up putting a gangrel into the fucking pavement.
oh, Stefan looks very shocked, but you see a wry smile on his face. He doesn't chuckle, just wry smile. Um, it it did sis. Oh, what was his name? Andrew. Does he wear a suit?
No, Andrew's the. Tries to think about it.
He's taller than Johann.
Johann, that might be the other one. Who's Johann?
Johann wears the suit, looks very muscular. I think Andrew was taller, but I don't know if Andrew wears a suit.
No, I think you got it. You know, with Johann. Johann's the name, huh? Okay, good to know. Good.
Johann and the smaller man was Trevor.
Trevor's the other one, and we ended up running into Johann and Trevor last night, and they currently got Damien.
This Gangrel. How did you know he was Gangrel?
Ran into him in the library earlier. Actually saved my ass, so I didn't mind end up pulling him out in.
I mean, last night. You were at the
Well,
library last night?
no. He was in the. Hold up. Fucking
Oh,
potholes.
ah,
Sorry, still been a couple of years since I've been behind the wheel. Hopefully they didn't fuck the alignment. All right.
actually, in downtown, it wouldn't be a pothole. It would be a stray cat.
It's a
Because down.
pothole because I say it is, and God damn it, we're not
Okay,
killing aim
okay,
cats in this scene.
okay.
Anyway, you
Sorry.
hit. It takes a minute, and he looks, and actually stops the car. And at that moment, you realize you're at the Emerald Scorpion. He pulls the brake. He pulls the keys, opens the door, puts up the auto lock, makes sure it's the basic security procedures, puts the keys in his pocket. Long story short, well, that all ended up starting with apparently they ended up finding a sighting, and they end up looking for us, and this guy just happened to be in the area. Apparently, he was supposed to keep an eye out too, or some such nonsense. I didn't get the full particulars. As you can imagine, he wasn't exactly in a talkative state after the fact.
But you learned he was gangrel. How did you?
Shh. Not outside of the car, man. Not outside of the car.
Oh, he kind of moves in closer, whispering. How did you learn he was gangrel?
Yeah. I have to make this is kind of an assumption, actually, but if I understand this correctly, the whole thing.
Oh, you make the motion, but do you do it like head level, or do you do it like torso level?
I kind of do it. I kind of
Like,
do it actually between us, like like I'm
okay,
squeezing.
so about this height.
Clearly, it's more of a claw motion. So I might be wrong, but I'm under the impression that particular members of families tend to stick to particular gimmicks. So I might be wrong. But I'm making the assumption.
I believe Zach made mention of that.
He did a bit more than mention, but
Well, he told us, his family name, his surname,
yeah,
and then made the show.
exactly. So this guy, Scout, did much the same thing, and that's kind of what got him, as far as I can tell, put into the pavement several times. Didn't work out for him none too well. So I'm a big guy, but there's kind of a point where you got to realize you're kind of outclassed, and this is clearly a point where I am fucking outclassed.
Yeah.
The music to the Emerald Scorpion starts to pick up as they end up walking towards the door. So, what are you thinking? Italian, Chinese, maybe English pub?
I am thinking, kind of stopping for a moment before, getting too close to the door. Somebody bit some more reserved students, college students.
Oh, we're going for ramen tonight. Okay.
Somebody intelligent. If you have access to the VIP section.
Yeah, I got my card on me.
Good.
What about you?
Go procure a room. I will also show my badge of office, and I will find somebody, unless you would like to procure that and then assist me in spotting.
Well, just don't go overboard and we'll be fine. So,
No.
Axel ends up opening the door and offers Stefan to end up going in first.
Stefan
Axel kind of shadows him for a minute.
VIP card to the doorman. Gets in. He asks Stefan if he would like a VIP room. Stefan nods and then points back to Axel, who probably shows his card. They both go in, and yes, go ahead and procure a room for us. I will be up shortly.
All right.
And Stefan.
Axel one.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, Stefan will walk into the Emerald Scorpion, through the assembled crowd, um, toward some areas where there's, a few booths, tables, uh, trying to see if he spots anyone that looks like maybe she's a college student, at least semi-intellectual type. Somebody probably sitting alone. Yeah. Um, he definitely spots a young lady who appears to be maybe 25, 26, or somewhere about there. Uh, Probably in later college level. He walks over. Um, oh, good evening, miss. Would it be okay if I sat down? We'll make a mm, uh, parent sympathy. Yeah, yeah. 2 successes on that. It's technically feeding. She kind of looks at him, gives him a little odd look, and then just smiles warmly. Um, and sits down. Um, how are you doing tonight? She looks a little shy at this moment, but makes eye contact. Um, so she's oddly enough thinking about doing some reading, and then straight away from that because of the loud atmosphere. Um, when he catches her gaze, I was wondering if you would like to follow me up to a VIP room, uh, to join me, a little peace and quiet. And I will go ahead and make my manipulation. Oh, intimidation, of course. Not that I'm trying to scare the shit out of her, but. Say 1 success. She gets up from the table. Stefan also gets up and begins walking to the VIP room that Axel has procured. Uh, Takes a few moments, but after that, um, they get into the room. He, after you, my dear.
Axel at this point is actually standing outside the room, and he seems to almost be a server in this, where he opens the door. Mr. Braunfiedler.
Thank you. She walks in, and right behind her, let me see, I gotta think about this. Seduction, I believe, is what, a subterfuge, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Okay. He will very, very gingerly place his hand um, on the girl, the right side of the young lady's face, just kind of gently caressing. down her neck to make her feel a little bit more at ease. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then right at the moment where she she loosens up a bit, he brings his head in closer while he's inside the door firmly, and brings his mouth closer to behind her ear, upper neck, and plants a gentle kiss, and then slowly lets his descended fangs sink into the girl's neck, into the young lady's neck. Axel, I am inside. Do you close the door or leave it open? You're muted, I think.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
He is currently standing outside the door as though he's trying to stop interruptions, but the door is cracked just enough for him to see how far you're going. Just in case. Just in case. He trusts you, but you know, it's always, this is the reason you bring backup.
Yeah. As he begins to sup at this gentle young girl, he takes it very, very slowly, very cautiously, unlike the last time he said. Very, very cautious, he thinks. Pay attention, pay attention. Not too much, just enough. And takes 2 blood points from her. After that, he pulls his head back at the same time that his lips come away from her, or before his lips come away from her neck, he just kind of gives a gentle of his tongue to close the wound, and kind of moves her, kind of like gently moves her aside a little bit, and steps to the left of her, looking in her eyes again, planting a very, very gentle kiss on her lips. When he pulls back, he locks eyes with her. My dear, you look quite tired. You should sleep. It is safe here. Double check. Yep. That's good.
Axel observes this. For a technicality, it always works on kind unless they are predominantly high will. So you don't need to roll a domination on them.
Oh, I don't need to roll?
Not on a kind, unless they're a specific NPC or what have you. It's an auto work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Against...
For any STs that saw that second roll, just ignore that. The first roll was like, it was me not realizing that, me forgetting that fact. So,
to make the roll clear as well, Axel's observing through that crack in the doorway just in case things go wrong, but he's also using this specifically to watch what Stefan does to cover his tracks. He's trying to pick up on a new trick.
You see him. Well, you see the whole act of feeding. You see him literally, seduce her. Very, very gingerly. And you notice that when he goes in for the act, you notice that with his left hand, which is not on the girl's shoulder, you see his fingers kind of move as if counting. And at one moment, when he gets to 5, and he has all five of his digits extended, he releases. His head kind of hovers a little bit. You're not sure why, because you can't see that part. And then he steps to the left and kind of moves her to the right. Again, in a seductive action, planting a gentle kiss on her lips, making eye contact with her again, and then you give me a intelligence plus occult.
Okay.
Actually, no, it'd be or would it be perception occult? Perception occult, I'm sorry.
Okay. I have no points in occult, so it'll just be 3 raw perception.
So that's going to make the difficulty 7, I think. Yeah.
Okay. 2 successes.
Oh, wow. And high degree of success. You picked up on, like, the keyword was very cleverly hidden, but you picked up on it, like, barely, but because your lack of occult. So you barely picked it up, but you picked it up with a high degree. And she slumps. He catches her and puts her over to a chair.
Axel mulls this over in his head. He kind of ends up looking around for a bit. Make them sleep. I didn't know you could do that. And he kind of reminds himself an earlier encounter, and maybe that's what he saw. He wasn't paying as much attention then. Here, though, he gets to end up watching up close and personal, and he knows to take notes this time. Very interesting use in a sentence. Just, He starts mulling over the implications of it. Well done. He closes the door, and knowing the deed's done, just giving them a chance to be private. Just waits at the door, arms or holding his own wrists, standing straight at the door, looking out, watching everybody else, almost as though he's running security.
A few moments later, it seems like just a few moments after you close the door reopens. Stefan emerges. And you notice that, there's no traces of him feeding. He did it quite cleanly, actually, as if he's very practiced at that. Keeping up appearances and all. Okay, we can go to discuss this in more secure, private location, but let me go find Jack, the manager, so that I can ensure that she is okay.
All right.
Stefan walks to the end of the hall toward the stairway, descends that, and goes through the door, waiting for Axel to come out, kind of holding it open for him.
Axel ends up following him outside. So that was a cute trick.
Oh no, the stairway descending toward the inside of the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Scratch that previous sentence then. He's not about to discuss that in the middle of the Emerald Scorpion.
And he heads over to the bar, trying to look for Jack. And then, spots the familiar face of the Toreador, night manager. And walks over to him and kind of just flags him down a little bit. Flags him down real quick when he gets close, and then motions for him to come over. Can you make sure that the young lady in VIP room 5. Gets home safe. She had a lot to drink, so she fell asleep. So, thank you. And Stefan kind of plants a 10 in Jack's hand. And walks back over to where Axel is. Presumably he didn't follow him the whole way, so.
No.
Okay. Shall we?
Yeah, let's get out of here. It's a little crowded. I'd rather not stick around. Though, as soon as he ends up exiting the Emerald Scorpion, he seems to almost with well, let's roll, see if he can maintain enough control to light a cigarette.
Okay.
No, he's struggling a lot with the lighter, so he starts to...
Was that a 3 or an 8?
3.
When Stefan sees him struggle with it, he kind of puts his finger in below the base of the lighter, as if to like take it from Axel's hand.
Okay.
May I?
Please.
And Stefan, keeping the flame away from Axel, kind of gingerly sparks the lighter.
He actually, instead of like puffing out regularly, just kind of lets the tip of it linger in the flames for well over 5 seconds, just enough to get him really going, and then takes a long haul off of it. Thank you. He
releases the flame, hands the lighter back.
Thank you.
No problem, sir. Let us head back to the car.
He gets in the car, waits for Stefan, starts it up.
Stefan gets in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me fill you in. Long story short, right now I got a few people working on where the hell to find Damien. Now, unless we can end up finding how the hell to end up getting a hold of them, maybe we can barter, or maybe we can end up catching them with their pants down for once, because right now I'm getting fucking pissed, Stefan. I've encountered these things 3 times, and 3 times, every single time, I get shut down. Now, usually I can talk to people, and I can usually talk to them in a fairly good manner, but these guys won't even hear you out. They're set, they are set in their ways, and they won't change them for nobody. The ones they made a decision, they're just going to follow through with it. So they always end up getting the drop, and they always have the upper hand, and the rules always go against us in play. I'm sick and tired of that.
How are they set in their ways?
Let me put it to you this way. They're concerned about the chaos, right? The chaos, right? And the problem is that every single time that it always ends up getting involved, it ends up turning into a case of, well, example, I'm having a good night, all things considered, and I'm telling them, what's the point of having some keeping degree of hostage that might snap on you and suddenly end up doing something rash? Now, picking up a Brujah is an exact... I couldn't tell them that he's Brujah, and that's what they're going to do. And the Gangrel already tried to take a piece out of one, and they thoroughly became one with the concrete. So, I'm telling them, how about if I go with them? It's more reliable to a certain extent. I know I can keep my shit together for a minute and maybe actually get them out. Instead, they end up taking Damien, and they won't hear a goddamn word. They'll take the guy who won't be missed, which I think is a very calculated bit. In case something goes wrong.
Who told...
They got...
Somebody told Sim? Or you told Sim? Or how do they know?
I may hate his ass, but at no point have I ever even considered throwing any one of us under the bus, okay? I don't care if he's from another part of an extended family.
Yeah.
Not do that. Don't even think about it in that regard.
No. I'm just wondering how that thought occurred.
I have no idea.
But
But
mention
now
has...
that you think about it,
Okay.
now that I think about it, you're right. How the fuck did they know that? How the fuck?
They mentioned that he would not be missed.
Yeah, that came out of their mouths. Me and Scout didn't say a goddamn thing, and Scout mostly on the fact that he was unconscious at the time.
They knew. Somehow they intuited that he is expendable. Presumably expendable, and would not be missed, or some... A good number of our kind, and Stefan kind of rolls up the window, have met with a few of these individuals, correct?
Yeah, I'm getting that impression. And just for a matter of the record, me and him have an open beef. So if at any point something happens to him and this leaks out, who do you think's the first person they're going to end up looking at?
And when we met, the night before... Was it the night? No, it's 1 or 2 nights before the meeting. Our little meeting in the warehouse, Yumi and
Thomas.
He mentioned another one of his, Probo, I believe, also had met.
The bum, yeah.
Bum? Oh, Yeah, okay, yeah. Classic Nosferatu guys.
So what, he's not a bum? You're going to tell me he's a billionaire Florent? No, whatever the fuck the word is.
I have heard of some very monetarily affluent people doing as much. Maybe once or twice. Not close. Quite kind of in between. Distant, anyway. Probably not the case, but... Who among our large social club has the inclination to say that? The Ventro and the Broha don't have the best.
You see Axel kind of just tense up a bit, and the car actually starts to go a little faster upon the mention of Venture.
Calm down. Do not exceed the speed limit, Axel.
Oh, sorry. It's all good.
Just thinking out loud. We are only mentioning the Ventro. They're not here. But them and the Bruja don't have the best... they don't always get along. That much I remember.
Alright. So, tell me this stuff. Right now, I got some people on it. And until I get a lead, I need to end up getting a hold now. I gotta get my ass to the church. I gotta talk to Celine. I gotta talk to Gideon. I'm talking to you first because I don't know how to present the situation. But I also need to end up talking to Lacey. Because Go ahead.
Okay. Give me the lay of the land at these flats. I'm not familiar with this part of the projects.
He pulls the car over for a minute. Puts up the parking brake, but it's still running idle. And leans back. Flats, Joker Street. Not much to tell. Kind of run down. Kind of one of those construction projects that didn't quite finish. You know, it's buildings that are livable, but kind of still need to get the siding on, if you know what I'm saying. We ended up walking into a maintenance shed. Maintenance shed had a basement into it, and supposedly, well, Damien found something, freaked the fuck out, and then it ended up turning into a case of, well, I ended up going down there with Scout after Scout was kind of following Damien, so it was a nice little game of cat and mouse. And once we all ended up showing up, that's what those guys did in the maintenance shed, blocking off the entrance. That's where that ended up happening. Now, this is a back alley right beside Joker Street. So you'll see a long chain-link fence. I think it's actually the intersection where Joker meets Regent.
And
Don't quote me on that, though. I'm not my area.
there are there is gang activity there. What is the climate, social climate?
Well, don't come in with a tie. I'll say that much. I mean, there's a reason I keep my sleeves rolled up right now.
Probably best not to walk into that area.
Well, that's the general consensus, right? So, look, you come in.
You did not happen to get any contact information, did you?
No, they got mine, probably through Damien. So I'm expecting Damien's need to sell to ring mine at some point. But that's the problem. See, they end up contacting me on their terms, and they always have the fucking upper hand. It's never the other way around. And even when it is the other way around, it's not quite, because we can't make it seem.
You say they have Damien. And of course Damien had his cell phone, so they have it. And you have Damien's cell number. His mobile number.
A thought just crossed Axel's mind. Yeah, I do. But
do you think there's a chance that Damien is still alive?
Has to be. Absolutely has to be. Because at this point, if they end up killing him, for as expendable as he may be, suddenly now these things have proven completely hostile, and now shit spirals. At this point, their side supposedly wants to end up keeping things from escalating as much as some of us do. So, I mean, let's be honest here. Can it really end up getting much worse than kind of shadow war? Where anything could go wrong. I mean, fuck, all it takes is one slip up on either side. They can change their face, we can't. And reality is that, they're going to be hard to pick out. So we need to end up finding some way to end up making sure that they're speaking on our terms, understand that this is our territory. If they can respect that, I think we can get along. But at this point, they view us as chaos, and that thought is firmly established. We will never end up getting that out of their fucking head. Like I said, once their mind's made up, you can't talk these things out. You want peace, but they want it on a cold, logical level where they benefit at all points. We gain no benefit in this regard. Now, keep in mind, I'm not exactly the brightest guy in the room, so maybe somebody else could come up with something. I'm just the leg man at this point, and I'm trying to end up making sure everybody comes out of this still standing.
I don't. As much as I would hate to keep something from Gideon, especially something this important.
We don't keep things from Gideon.
Eh,
Period.
I keep telling myself, don't hide anything from clan elders. Especially not clan elders, but my mind keeps going back to the nights that those wrought iron bars faced Gideon's anger.
I'm listening.
Before the tell Gideon, I will see if maybe there is a way that I can reason with them. Some way to maybe see if there's something that they, for all I know, maybe what is needed indeed is a fresh perspective. They think with cold logic. They are set in their ways. They want, like, it's their way or no way. This is how they think?
This has been how every encounter I've had thus far. Now, trust me, I would love to end up dealing with somebody who's reasonable, but outside of, like I said, when I realize they can end up getting the drop on 2 of them, what do you think's going to end up happening if we end up moving strong against them? If we move strong, we got to move in numbers, and we got to move hard. And that's something that as soon as we take one out, we lose the rest of them. The rest of them can go into hiding with no issue whatsoever. But
And
they're also moving together.
Okay.
Why else would we run into 2 of them at the same time? They're not like us usually where we're solitary.
Oh, they did move solitary before, but they are now moving.
Safety in numbers.
Smart. Very, very smart. Now I have a reason. Now I have a very good reason to keep Gideon. We will tell Gideon only if we need to bring in strength. Only if we need solid strength. Only if we need to resort to, well, only if the worst should happen.
Are you aware what you are asking me to do?
We are not keeping it from him. We are just waiting. Let us talk. Let us see if we can save Damien's life by talking to them first. If the worst case scenario should happen, we will find a way out. And then we will go talk to Gideon.
All right. Let me.
Gideon will be our last resort.
Why? Why keep it from him?
Unless we need him.
You haven't given me a why. You told me you want to keep this from him. You haven't given me why. Justify it.
That at this time, if we can handle this without bringing possible stress on him and Celine. Presumably, Celine will probably be told. I believe that we should try to solve this on our own first. If we cannot, then we will tell Gideon. We will see what he tells us, and we will not withhold anything whatsoever. But I believe that we should save telling him until a last resort. As a last resort. I don't want to keep anything from him. I just want to see if we can tell him either as a last resort or possibly that we have succeeded in this task with insurmountable odds against us. One way or another, he will find out. He will know. And when we tell him, he will know everything.
And what's going to happen when Scout comes to? What's going to happen when he explains to his people that a Bruja had just been taken, the Malk walked away, they got beaten to a pulp, and then it goes up the grapevine? Right?
So,
Who's going, at this point, it's a case of, this is a Bruja matter and a Malkavian matter. We went in together. As much as I don't like the guy.
the gangrel walked away as well.
Yeah. I carried his ass out, but
He got out.
yeah.
Only our little Bruja friend was kidnapped. Believe you me, I know how this is going to look to the Bruja.
Oh, inform me, please. Please. At this point, need to end up making sure all members are held and updated and accounted. Because right now it has been 14 hours and nobody's seen Damien. How long do you think it's going to take before suddenly they realize Damien's not taking calls and I'm driving around in his car? I still need to ditch the car. But right now it's just too convenient to end up using. I need to end up removing it from sight before too many questions start asking.
Well, nobody else in our clan knows this. And
no,
I need something.
I had somebody on it. That means somebody's on it and somebody knows.
Something else. Nobody else in our clan knows that at the last of February, that's the end of February, last month, I had a meeting with the Bruja Primogen. Nobody in our clan knows this. I managed to successfully procure some things that I wanted. But I also have to keep my word and do something for him. Now, it concerned a matter of a slip of the tongue. And I believe that slip came of one particular night at the Aphrodite.
Yeah, I remember it.
What clan is Lacey? Stefan looks dead at you.
Stefan, I love you. You're a cousin that I could learn a great deal from.
I'm not
So I'm
bringing
going to be
Lacey
polite
into.
about
I'm not bringing Lacey into this. But what clan is she?
Bruja.
How do you think that the primogen of the Bruja learned about a verbal indiscretion, even a slight one? I don't blame Lacey for this. Good on her. But we can maybe use this to our advantage. Call Lacey. Tell her to relay a message on behalf of Stefan to Mr. Connor Parkins. Do not make a move, Connor Parkins. On my behalf. Do not worry about Damien. I am on it. I will do what I can to ensure his safe return. But please, do not make any move whatsoever. I believe Connor Parkins will listen to this as long as it comes on my behalf through Lacey in those exact words. She is just relaying information. No danger.
All right.
And keep this between us. Nobody in our clan needs to know about this affiliation I have with the Bruja, except us. It is very important.
Stefan, as far as it goes between you and the Bruja, that's your own business. I won't tell anyone who doesn't ask. Understand at the end of the day, I am loyal to the family. But if nobody asks, I won't say anything. And if anybody at our level asks, I'll tell them it's none of their business. But I want you to understand, I'm not going to lie to Gideon for you, and I'm not going to lie to Celine for you. But
I am not asking you to
don't
lie.
ask. They don't ask. As far as I'm concerned, that part is none of my business. I'm just really relaying a message.
That is all I'm asking. You want to keep the Bruja from doing something
drastic.
Regrettable.
Got it.
You don't have to lie to Gideon or Celine. Just cleverly omit. You could forget. People forget things all the time. It's not lying. At a certain point, both Gideon and Celine will know in my own words, from my own mouth. When the time is right. But that message needs to be relayed to Lacey, and Lacey needs to relay it to Mr. Parkins on my behalf. And it has to be on my behalf that these words come from.
Got it. Now, as I understand it, this is me going out of my way that does not concern the family or the masquerade, specifically when it comes down to omitting your connection.
No.
So, I'm often told these little gatherings, often sealed as a deal, So you tell me, if I was really the child of Gideon, what do you think I should be doing right now?
Looking for a favor, are we? Ah, you have learned quite well in your short time. Of course, of course. A small favor for a small favor. You relay information that keeps the Broha from making regrettable decisions and causing disaster and havoc. A small favor is owed in return.
Now, this is the point where I'm going to end up telling you something that you're probably not going to like after that wonderful compliment. You don't owe me for this because you're family. But I want you to understand that this is a strain on me. So, let's understand that this is not a favor. This is me just helping out a cousin. Don't push my charitable nature.
Of course not.
I'm glad we understand each other, yeah, Stefan, and I appreciate it. Besides, you and me already have a bargain I need to end up fulfilling. And tonight, he starts the car, and pulls it out of neutral. Starts driving down south to the docks, to shipping, to warehouses. See, tonight you gave me a small lesson, whether you knew it or not. So, in keeping with that, you and me are going to end up going 18 rounds, and I'm going to see what you even know to begin with. I want you to end up being able to hold your own when shit hits fan. And with that, Axel begins to drive south into the night. It's going to be a long night between Axel and Mr. Braunfiedler.
What do you mean? And the scene fades to black.